about the events which are occurring in the distal convoluted tubular cells of the kidney. So as we know that calcium is an important ion that helps in the contraction of the muscles. So the reabsorption of calcium mainly occurs at distal convoluted cells, though it also occurs at proximal convoluted tubular cells and loop of Henle. So what happens in distal convoluted cells, there is a channel, sodium chloride channel, which is located on the tubular luminal side, and it causes the reabsorption of sodium as well as chloride. So sodium moves into the cell. Once inside the cell, the concentration of sodium will be increased. So there must be some pathway by which the sodium moves out of the cell. So we have a pump which is called the sodium potassium pump. It is located on the basolateral membrane. It pumps sodium from the distal convoluted tubular cell into the blood. So these are the two transporters we have on the distal convoluted tubular cell. As we have spoken earlier, that the calcium reabsorption also occurs at distal convoluted tubular cells. So we have a calcium channel located at the luminal side of distal convoluted cell, and through this channel calcium enters from tubular lumen into the distal convoluted tubular cell. Now from the cell, the calcium can go out of the cell into the blood via two main pathways, or we can say via two main transporters. The first transporter is the calcium pump. It uses the energy of ATP and it pushes calcium from distal convoluted tubular cells into the blood. And the second transporter we have is an antiporter, which moves calcium ions from tubular cells into the blood in exchange for sodium ions from blood into the tubular cells. So in a nutshell, calcium exits the distal convoluted cells via sodium calcium exchanger and the calcium pump. Also, there is an important hormone which is the parathyroid hormone. It is released by parathyroid gland. This hormone increases the calcium absorption by acting at the luminal channel which is transporting calcium into the cell. It increases the insertion of calcium channels on the luminal side, which in turn increases the calcium reabsorption from tubular lumen into the distal convoluted tubular cells. So we can say the parathyroid hormone increases the calcium entry from lumen into the cell by increasing the insertion of calcium channel in the luminal membrane. From here, calcium can go out of the cell into the blood via calcium pump and calcium sodium exchanger.